Greetings, I am Lies, and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together. Hoo-hoo-hoo, back to the spicy red bedroom. She leans over my shoulder and considers her card seriously. I choose this one. Quick. Oh, look.
Oh, look, her own card.
Yes. The High Priestess, reversed. Clearly, she also knows how to read the Arcana cards that Asra has.
Clearly.
I would love someone to get, like, the Four of Cups. She was always my favorite. And reversed.
As long as I've known you, you have had an incredibly powerful sense of intuition. Okay, hang on. Based on NADIA'S route, I hate to tell you, I never felt like she had a really strong sense of intuition at all.
No, she didn't know
Because the
anything.
problem was that characters magically knew stuff all the time, or like could intuit weird things that I just didn't get. Yep. Because like that was the thing that baffled us lots of times. Going, where the fuck would you come up with that? Like,
and also like things blindsided Nadia constantly. But
yeah,
this is Asra's opinion, and he's allowed to have it.
Yeah, it's fine. Incredibly powerful sense of intuition, but you keep that part of yourself secret. I never really knew why.
Asra, you're deeply emotionally unavailable. Are you really just bagging on her for being emotionally unavailable?
Yeah, pretty much.
You never were completely open and intimate with me. You didn't reveal
also
all of yourself.
You knew her in regards to being married to Lucio.
And it sounds like you largely hung out together based on what you've described, which might not be the case at all, because you might not be sharing everything. But, yeah, you were always holding something back. Okay.
Isn't that how most people do, especially when they're around, like, in parties or around people also where she's a countess and you're a magician and you have literal fucking class in between you, and if Julian is there, you especially have class in a way? Because you could make an argument that magicians are, especially ones that Nadia thinks are real actual magicians, because she has, foisted that opinion out, which
she has.
So she could be like, Asra's a real magician, right? So he's more on my level. I'll be more personal with him. But Julian is not. Why the fuck would she ever be more open when Julian is around?
Well, one could say that perhaps, despite everything, maybe class doesn't matter to her. Which it should, in all ways.
She acts exactly like class, though. I know.
Okay, and then next, him going, I never really knew why. Does it matter to you? Did you want Nadia to be open with you? Was that important to you? But also going, I don't really pick her up as the type likes close friends or people close to her. She really is like a one-person kind of person. And if she's married to Lucio, a lot of what she could be holding back is the fact that she's just spending a huge amount of energy on him.
Yeah, and based on also what she talked about, she was. Like, she was deeply emotionally, like, her whole fucking arc is literally about letting Lucio go.
Let him go. Let him go.
So that, in my mind, really is just kind of like, of course she wasn't opening up to you. You weren't her, quote, person. She was either trying to be the favorite of...
I have a question.
What?
Is Asra doing this to basically be a form of manipulative of, I'm trying to tell you, you were never completely open with me, to spark openness now, make you feel like you should be?
Oh, maybe? Maybe.
As a magician, can you not understand? Such things are not necessarily a gift. Being open with people?
I guess.
Intuition? What are we talking about, Nadia?
Based on what Asra just was talking about, it's the openness thing.
Such things as being open are not necessarily a gift?
I think the thing is actually a lot of people are way more open than they ever think. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've ever worked in customer service and been like, oh.
You just dumped everything on me. Honestly, though, people sometimes are easier being open with strangers than they are with people who are close to them, because they feel like there's going to be no consequence. You can't bring it back to them, because they may not see you again.
Right, but the thing is like...
Okay, but the thing is she referring to openness as the gift, or intuition as the gift,
or both?
Or friendships, or what?
Yes.
Like, I don't know what she's talking about here necessarily.
Yeah, I'm not entirely
But
sure.
also, as a magician, specifically not being open, doesn't this help you understand? I feel as though this card understands. It speaks to me that whatever I was talking about isn't a gift.
Okay.
The Countess's eyes grow distant. The point between her brows begins to glow before it pinches with pain. That is very unusual. She covers it with her hand, groaning and lowering herself to the pillows. Also, that's the other thing I was going to say, and I lost my train of thought. You were never open with me. Why? Do you know that? I mean, those things aren't necessarily a gift. You don't remember him as far as back then. You don't remember any of back then. So wouldn't it be more like, oh, I was?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's a really fucking good point.
Because she doesn't
She
remember
doesn't
their
know who
friendship.
Asra is. Yeah, she has no idea what they're really... Like, she's like, okay, I guess we were friends. What?
Obviously,
that seems rather assumptive, but you are a magician, so...
I mean, obviously, she knows that all of them hung out together because she didn't disagree with him with the let's sit on the bed and pretend to be like we used to be.
Right. Well, she did say it wasn't it familiar sort of thing. She was like, yeah, that like...
And it felt familiar and stuff like that, which is fine, but going, you were never completely open with me, and go... Really?
What are you even talking about?
That should be a statement of going, oh, you're telling me something about myself. That should be interesting.
Right.
Not like well, don't you understand? You don't remember doing that, Nadia. You don't remember being that, Nadia.
I love how deeply inconsistent this always feels. Like, I feel like...
In some ways, it's really strange.
This doesn't work.
The memories are very important until they are not.
Pretty much.
She covers it with her hand, groaning and lowering herself to the pillows.
Also, did you notice that they haven't actually explained what Priestess in Reverse means?
Nope, not at all.
They have completely...
She pulled it, and they talked about basically how she likes it, and
it speaks to me, and
that's it. They have not described what it means.
Which is really weird, because
there's a
usually
suggestion that perhaps the Priestess in Reverse is related to intuition, because that's what Asra went
or going,
to.
she's not open. That's what Asra potentially was
But it
talking
hasn't been read, as a tarot.
Because our character actually in other places where that usually goes, here's this card speaks of this thing, and then goes, oh wait, I actually hear a voice, you know.
Or is connected to,
Okay.
If it's a regular reading with no magic, it's connected to, implies, can mean, and may suggest, and then also if it's the tarot actually speaking, in the case of his personal specific Arcana tarot, then it would be the, what does the card say to you?
Yeah.
Oh, of all the times, this headache.
You have them often?
If of all the times, you might be. The Countess nods. Asra pours her a glass of water from somewhere and gives me a meaningful look.
Because all we've talked about is the plates of food. We haven't talked about water at all.
Or drinks of any kind. It's fine. From somewhere. At the lilting wave of her hands, he returns his attention to the cards.
This one.
Oh, the devil.
The devil.
It's just the devil.
The devil.
and Faust being a little spicy.
With
an actual banana.
With an actual banana, with a banana snake.
Banana.
A trap that I've let myself fall into. Bond I refuse to escape.
Are you talking about the MC?
Such ominous. This one was Lucio's favorite. What could it mean?
Well, I guess you haven't figured out.
Bondage?
No, the devil. That's just the devil.
No, I know.
That's
but
not
I'm
even...
asking in relation to this one was Lucio's favorite, but in relation to what? What its
trapped.
meaning is? What the card looks like? Was he?
It sounds like in this case, Asra doesn't know about people's affinities to their arcanas.
Which is weird.
Which sounds really strange, since he would be the one that has primarily identified it and also knows about it at all of anyone.
Yeah.
That people do have our affinities for arcana.
He also seems deeply unsurprised at any point when we've ever seen him, and he goes, this person is connected to this arcana. Like, they show up for them, and he seems to be like, oh, okay, there's the priestess. Of course the priestess is here. You know, kind of like that attitude.
It sounds like he doesn't know, because, what could it mean that Lucio is his favorite? Or are we saying, of course I know he's affiliated with the devil, but what I mean is, what does it mean that I've pulled this card? That I've pulled this card? So
especially, like, in relation to, this is Lucio's favorite / the one he's connected to, why did I pull this card?
Yes, I'm not even sitting in for him. And so
you are.
That might be the question more as?
Maybe?
Because that would make more sense based on the other things we know.
Yeah.
That card, out of curiosity, was...
Apparently she is laid down, but she is, like, rolled over so she can look.
So she can see the card. Or she knows the deck so intimately she doesn't have to look. Because he said it out loud.
But, he did say the devil.
On the other hand...
He did say the devil.
But, on the other hand, she hasn't seen the deck since losing all her memory.
Oh, shit, yeah, because she's mentioned specifically the goat. So somehow she's looking at the cards.
So she is. She's laying down. Maybe he lifted up and showed her.
So one way or the other. Yeah.
She
perceives.
She would definitely have to see the card, given her memory. Out of curiosity, was that the goat you saw? No, it was smaller and less attractive. Canon! Kohai now finds 2 of the Arcana hot.
That is... Why would you say we're talking
One,
about an animal.
how do you find it smaller? Are we relating it to the snakes? The size of the chains? What size is that ghost?
No, like, I'm having several problems here.
Okay. Holds up the card. Smaller. Picks up the Lucio ghost that is 3 inches tall.
This one's 4 inches.
This is a 4-inch card, and this is a 3-inch Lucio ghost. See, smaller.
Yeah, like
There's no indicator of size in there.
No. Like the chains could be, it's an artistic representation as far as we know.
Also,
that
chains
Asra
can be
made.
any size.
And snakes can be a lot of different
sizes.
And also, again, I'm just like, less attract. Are you really a furry? I guess you're a furry.
Kohai's a furry, it seems. Except for, or Kohai's just, for whatever reason, attracted to the way the Arcana put together. Maybe just monsters. Those are the only monsters they've ever seen.
That's true.
So it could be not necessarily furry, but if furries are the only creatures you've ever seen, you could just be into creatures.
Mm-hmm. But also, I think that's fair. Okay, so you're gonna have to forgive me, but I don't think, quote, the Lucio ghost goat is, quote, unattractive.
Less attractive. I'm going, what makes the devil more attractive?
That's what I'm going like.
Maybe we're into makeup. He's got the beautiful eyeliner, thick coal.
I guess.
Maybe. This suggests, this is telling us very strongly that
like I'm kind of ableist and I don't like people who don't have all of their limbs.
I really love long silky ears. I like more horns.
Yeah, I don't.
We're saying very strongly that your MC has an aesthetic type and preference. We don't know what it is necessarily, but it's definitely there.
Like deeply skinny? At least in regards to the card, because actually that one has quite a smooth, like
edges.
Compared to the devil, okay, so based on the way that the devil is actually physically rendered in the game, because spoilers, we've seen him,
yes.
He's much bigger compared to that rendering.
Uh-huh.
Like, in my opinion, the way that he's put together, he's much bigger.
More built.
He is more built, more athletically built,
more muscular,
either more muscular or basically just has more mass overall.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's too thin.
So yeah, it's
compared to him, I think
might have been drawn first, or again, it's Astra's interpretation,
which I like Asra's interpretation.
So
yes,
yes, exactly. But also going, he agrees also that this one's more attractive and larger.
Yes, exactly. Your turn, Kohai.
You also think the devil is more attractive than the ghost goat?
What? The fuck? Well, we're just trying to piss off Lucio. Maybe that's what we're doing. We're just trying to piss off Lucio. We have one card left. Pull it.
Maybe. I'm just going.
What?
Was that the goal? We just like blazing red eyes.
We like bondage?
I just say attractive isn't about the what they've got going on.
And I don't know if that is considered to be makeup for you, because how do you know that's makeup? That's literally the pattern of the fur.
Well, I'm just saying that might. I'm trying to project what the MC might see without having any information.
Right. No, and I'm super confused. Yeah, you have to
hit the card. Okay. Well, look, death reversed.
Except, okay, hang on. The hearts are Okay, so the hearts on the back of the cards are flipped in a certain direction. They've always been upright. So, okay, you can't see them anymore because we flipped the card.
On the back. Yeah, okay.
The other side. So some of them were actually facing the other direction. And, I don't understand.
The fact that it doesn't have a completely reversible design on the back means you would know whether it was reversed or not before you flipped it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a little confused right now. Anyway,
death reversed. Also, Asra, I don't think I've ever said you're a very good artist. These are very nice renderings.
Uh-huh.
I think they're very pretty. Did you draw them, paint them, etch them, a combination of things? Are they collage?
Are they, like we said in the last episode, wood? Are they
lacquer?
Sealed? Are they ivory? What are they?
But also, how did you get the colors on here and make them stay?
Yeah.
It was magic. Oh, okay. Is that a form of art magic?
Do you also do art magic?
Yeah, art man. Death. Reversed. The voice of death is not a cackle. Not a scream. We're going to talk about this card talking to us. The other ones made no sound, I guess. But a hiss. Soft. Like the wind passing over dry grass.
I think you did this card.
I did.
You did do this card. This was a soft. They're soft, cute. No, you did cute, didn't you?
No, that's for when death is the kitty.
Oh,
when death is kitty, then cute.
When peppy.
When peppy. You are the same. Nothing has changed. You have forgotten everything you learned.
Is that what death in reverse means?
Well, that's what the voice is saying.
Okay.
This is death showing up to deign to speak to Kohai.
Oh, thanks.
Because I've described the voice, and then there is this italicized. It's not us thinking anymore. but the power to transform yourself grows inside you. Everyone could hear it.
Did you just, like,
or did we
blab that
translate for death?
I guess?
We didn't say... Okay, so we flip the card, we don't say what death sounds like, do we then just speak that?
What? But Nadia didn't, neither did Asra.
Nope.
It's not necessarily saying, like, they have to
and
have
also,
the card.
Are we able to channel voices through us? Because that wasn't our regular voice font.
No, and also that wasn't us, quote, speaking, because our name wasn't up there.
I also feel like if we did say all that aloud, Asra would be concerned.
I don't know.
So did everyone hear this? The power to transform? Unless she's just questioning, going, I'm not actually talking about the words that were said at all, even though it sounds like I meant. I'm just saying...
She knows how tarot works.
Is it death reverse, the power to transform, maybe?
This is transformation. It would have been the Count's favorite, if he understood it.
So here's my thing then, I guess. Let's suggest that she didn't hear it, nobody heard it, it wasn't said aloud, only Kohai heard it, right? And then her understanding of the card and what it means in that position
For Nadia, yeah.
is what she said, but the fact that it sounds so similar to what Kohai heard just makes it unclear. I think they should have used different language for her or different language for death.
Yes.
Because otherwise it sounds like she heard what was said and is responding to it rather than just casually describing the card.
Also, it feels really redundant if you're literally going to have death literally say what's up. It just seems stupid. Does that make sense? Where you're like, this is this thing. It's about transformation. But you have that. I'm like, why would you say that? Everybody else is going to also explain that.
Unless we want to show that she knows what the cards mean, but I don't know why that information would be important to us.
Well, also, like you said, the thing that cracks me up then is going like, okay, so I guess since she really was around Asra, she really does know this deck because this is the only deck of playing cards we know.
This is the only deck of cards in the world.
Especially tarot.
As far as we can... And it is the only tarot, period. There might be other decks of cards somewhere. After all, we do have words for this.
All right.
we have language.
We have words.
I was going to say... The other thing I guess would be, I would expect, I don't even know how to put it. It's okay. It feels very awkward to have her say that after the other one, so that's fine.
Also going, it would have been the Count's favorite if he understood it.
Because he wants to transform.
Yeah, he does. But also, like...
I'm also amazed, again, that Nadia isn't like, oh, I remember this. She just has these things, even though she says she doesn't remember stuff. And as far as I know, she hasn't had a tarot reading or been exposed to a tarot reading. I guess you did a one-card reading for her in the shop in the prologue.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that would be the only thing she remembers about it, other than, like, in this current experience of herself.
Well, and also remember, I think she said she's genuinely not surprised, or was that... honestly, all of them in the prologue, I swear to God, are just like, well...
She wasn't surprised about receiving death,
surprising.
So in her mind, she knew what the deck was.
Or is that... Julian, I know, definitely went, I'm not surprised, because death follows me all... because he was angsty.
Whatever. It's okay, if he understood it.
Yeah. Instead, he's been his whole life running, hiding.
Instead of understanding death?
Instead
of preferring death? Instead of having death be his favorite card?
Why would he like that card?
How are those... No, he would like it, I assume, because of transformation.
Yes.
If death means transformation, and if he understood it, he would have liked it best, then that means he likes transformation. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only interpretation I can come up with. Someone may have another. You're totally welcome to it, please. Do not assume I'm pushing my ideas on you.
Don't assume we know...
But that's all I can understand.
Based on all the information that we've been presented with in the game itself.
What he's saying is, instead of understanding and liking the death card as his favorite, he spent his whole life running and hiding.
No, it says, instead of understanding that he likes transformation. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
Which it doesn't even make sense anyway. Like, both of them don't make sense. Because it says, instead he spent his whole life running.
I'm just
hiding from transformation. Because that's the only thing I can get, because that was the meaning that Lucio... Because if he understood the meaning, he would have liked death.
Yes. So, yeah. I guess, or hiding from his like of it.
Or he's hiding from death. But it's just a card.
Yeah.
Or are we actually literally talking about death itself, which, as you said, we're talking about... Okay, so the tarot is literally fucking different than death.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how... Like, I keep being weirded weirded out by where this game is like, no, but the death card in particular, for some reason, is actual literal force, as well as being an arcana that signifies certain things and symbolizes and also affects those things.
One, they use the death card a lot in this game.
And
a lot.
No, but I was also going to say then,
Two,
where do the other fucking arcana then fit in regards to how they manipulate or control the world? Because if you're going to establish that death does something, then the other cards need to... No. It kills people. Right. That's what I mean. It is also literally death.
Right.
It's transformation and it's death, right?
What do the other ones do?
What do the other literal physical arcana do outside of the cards?
There's the one that helps you find your way.
The
star?
That's still related to, like, the tarot, unless you're going to say that the star is literally the stars.
Or the star is a guide.
Yeah.
The reason people look to the stars as guides is because the star is a guide.
Right.
And so it works the other direction by intuiting it from her and what she does.
Right. But
I
mean,
have no idea what the other one's functions would be in nature, in reality.
And that's what I mean. Like, this is confusing because none of the other arcana, for the most part, like, you can kind of go, okay, the star, but, like, most of the other ones, what the fuck do they do?
Right.
Like, they're like, oh, if they destroy, because remember in the other
the
route,
tower,
like, if we bring them together, it will destroy the world, kind of thing. Except if we don't bring them together, like, I don't understand. They cannot figure out what that was. Anyway, so it's just like, so what do they control?
Right? No, the other ones just have a thing there. The reason no one can have death as their arcana is because then they would have an affinity for death, which would kill them? Question mark?
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, what?
Yes. All right.
In that portrait, he has to have death under his heel. Do you know why?
Not at all.
Yes, absolutely. I imagine why.
I was to say, the horse skull is supposed to be death. Why would he see death as the horse skull?
Because there was a horse skull
on
the death that he drew because he talked.
Because Lucio completely agrees with Astra's interpretation of death, given that he's never seen that arcana himself.
Yep.
He's just like, you are the authority, without really, which is funny that he would just be like, this other person is the authority on something. I want to be in charge of everything.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's kind of funny. All right, do you know why?
Because even after all the death he caused, still cowered at the face of it.
A lot of people don't
what?
like death.
I would have...
Okay,
sir,
but
that is incredibly pessimistic, other than I have conquered death. Because that was immediately what I thought of.
Uh-huh.
I am the master of, I have conquered, I have defeated death because of the sword, the regalia.
Death has no access to me.
Exactly.
Death cannot defeat me, So the thing is that the weird thing about this sentence, because even after all the death he caused, he still cowered in the face of it. Are you saying that someone who kills people should not fear death, and that's the normal course of things, so this is unusual?
I don't
Murderers normally have no fear of death, so it's really weird that he did.
That...
I'm
like, it is dumb! Like, that feels a little, like...
Even, because it's not like, after all the death he caused, you'd think he'd be more comfortable with the idea or concept.
The metaphor. I get it, right? But the thing is, this is also, like, character-wise, when has Lucio ever been in the other two routes basically a coward in relation to death? Like, do we remember, so Julian went into his room and he was like, you have to help me because I can't die.
Right.
Right, and I think I definitely remember hearing about basically he didn't want to grow old. And that was why he was obsessed with his appearance.
I only remember hearing that outside the game. I've never seen it inside the game, as far as I know.
Also, I'm saying, like, I don't remember if it, like, came up in Julian's or not.
Don't believe so.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's just
going... It's so weird for...
The bit of just relating that it's weird for him to cower in the face of death after killing people sounds odd to me.
It does. That's bizarre.
You take that back, even.
Bitch!
Bitch!
Take it back!
Hey,
yes.
Hey. You take that back. Yes. In a scorching burst of wind.
In scorching wind, burst of...
I think they tried to write 2 sentences.
They did.
Okay, so I'm going to say, in this particular game, there has been a lot more of I started with one sentence and finished with another than I have seen in other games. Like, I definitely see it. It's even happened in a really cute game we've been playing recently called Outlaws?
Lookouts.
Lookouts. Thank you, Lookouts. This, it happens a lot in this one. Like, I think that is a habit of one of the writers to specifically, basically go back and try to change a sentence or get a different idea of what they wanted and then not double check it.
Right.
Anyway, in a scorching wind, which they wanted to say, in a scorching burst of wind, Asra is thrust across the room and pinned to the portrait. That's fine. The Countess and I leap to our feet. I am very startled and stunned, so I have no reaction to this, but the fact that he is like, I will grab you and slam you against me is kind of funny.
Does this sound like a scene out of The Mummy? Like, my brain wants to say it sounds like
I don't
that.
know.
I feel like there's a movie scene that I've seen that was like dramatic in the 90s or
I mean,
early
people
2000s.
get thrown around by invisible forces a lot.
Oh, constantly.
But I was going to say, specifically, I'm going to slam you against the picture of me.
Yes.
It's like, if he was really here, it'd be like I grab you and slam you against my body. Don't say those things about me.
I mean,
full contact.
I think the thing is like, I've seen that even with like a couple of horror movies where they do it because it's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's going, I'm this force that's grabbing you to me, or this thing that's coming to get you.
I'm just imagining Asra with his face squished up against the portrait, the way you do like a glass window. Oh, thanks.
Go like, that's your groin.
Yeah. And since it's so tall, I now have my face in your hips. Thanks.
Thanks. With your non-existent groin.
It's
Okay.
fine. All right.
The Countess and I
Leap to our feet. I cower at the face of no one. Take that back.
Is that a dare? Because it's not the truth.
Squished up against the painting, completely flat against it.
Is that a dare? Because it's not a truth.
Because the side of your face is squashed.
It's not a truth.
Yes, but still looking suave. An infernal screech bounces off the walls before the lights go out. I'm sorry. I just... Asra... Just keeps going. You have always been impossible. Impossible to hate, impossible to love, impossible to... Just can't put you in a box. Why?
Sounds like Lucio really actually wants to fuck Asra. You're gonna have to excuse me. Like, I've noticed more and more, like, that Asra and Lucio have apparently some implied historical tension. Like, big time.
I'm also like, as far as I can tell from Asra,
So our solitaire theory holds completely
he's
true.
fine with boning everyone.
Yeah, he's fine.
He really is. Like, all the people he's met, it's
Like,
fine.
he manipulated Muriel, he's manipulated Julian. I mean, I imagine he's manipulated both Nadia and, I mean, I guess Portia wasn't there, so that's the only one.
Does not at all.
Does not.
They never knew each other.
They've never known each other.
Nope.
And then he's definitely manipulated Lucio.
Lucio, for sure.
I think...
There's a quick snap of moving fabric, and then the room is illuminated by a single intricate point of light. You mean a pattern? How is a point intricate?
Probably because it's like a funnel coming down, so it's like looking into a thing, and it's just coming out, and it's just this point that has a mosaic in it of some kind.
Then it's not a point anymore.
Oh, that's true.
A
point
of light, not a beam or shaft. A point, a dot. An intricate point, not an elaborate point, not an immaculate point, not an extremely sharp, clear point.
Okay,
not
so
a precise point.
yeah,
An
okay,
elaborate.
So basically, it's being contradictory to itself. Which
That's all I'm hearing.
all right, fine.
So if something is a singular point and it's intricate, I don't think those can go together.
Because points of light are specifically a point. They're
Yes.
not like a beam.
And again, you could say
containing
it's
intricacies.
precise, it's immaculate, it's it's simple, it's beautiful, it's whatever. But intricate means having many details.
Yes.
A point of light does not. Asra's robe has been thrown open, and there's a seal glowing on his chest that I have never seen before. I guess he slammed the back of him against the painting.
Oh, I was right.
Huh.
Because remember back ages ago, I was trying like, okay, so now they're all like, you've got a thing here, and you've got a thing here, and and I was like, I bet you Astra's is on his chest for some reason. I don't know why.
I say, okay, but I have this thing for a second. Just for a second.
What?
So Lucio, if we're saying that Lucio is using the painting of himself to represent himself,
Right.
then basically what he did was grab Asra and slam his back into his front.
Yeah.
Like the sort of thing where a villain grabs you and puts their arm around your chest.
Right.
And holds you in hostage for other people.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm just like, that's what he did. So it's not, it's shoulders to groin, perhaps.
Yeah, that's
Given the height of the painting. Unless he's just lifted incredibly off the ground. But it doesn't say he was thrown through the air, but not really aggressively lifted. So anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Nice picture.
It is nice, actually.
It's his own spell work. Though he has never taught me anything like it. What is it doing on him? For someone with this, you're high and mighty about following the rules. And look where it got you. Your sweet little Kohai is here by your side.
Look where it got you. Trapped on the incorporeal plane.
Did Lucio use his magic on himself? Or is he saying your magic on him got him there? What are we talking about?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Look where it got you, which sounds definitely like, or it might just be talking about magic in general. Because there was that ritual, so again, using meta from the other ones, they were like, he did a specific ritual.
And it included all of them?
Uh-huh.
Even though Lucio was dying of the plague at that time?
Yeah,
or dead?
Which is strange.
So he wasn't there?
Except that, like, in Julian's route, nobody else was there.
Wait a second.
What?
He did the ritual in a hidden room in this room, right?
Yeah.
Because of NADIA'S route.
Yeah.
So, Lucio could have been there. They could have just dragged him out of his bed. Drags you out of your deathbed to be involved in an elaborate magical ritual. It's perfect.
Where you all could get a disease. And Julian was already locked away, suffering from...
Oh, so he wouldn't have been there because Julian was locked away also. And Muriel was down rescuing Julian, so they couldn't have been involved either.
Yeah, I don't fucking understand this plot.
Who was even in that ritual, to be honest?
I don't know!
Now
Nadia.
that I know it was basically that night, then you just drag a dying Lucio out of his bed to be a part of this. Nadia was there. It was a group of people of some kind. So Julian was locked downstairs at the time because when he got up from his cell, Lucio's room was already on fire.
Yes.
So he couldn't have done it then. And Muriel was with him, so unless Muriel went to rescue him after the magic happened, that is suddenly a big timeline question. As an investigator, I wish to know.
I mean, I have no questions at all.
Yeah, actually what I mean is, do you mean his magic on him, or your magic on him, or just magic on him, or him using magic? Never mind, no questions. We're good.
I guess you will never answer them anyway. Trapped on the incorporeal plane.
You think I'm trapped? You think you're the only one who can pass between?
I mean, as far as I understand, the way Asra's literally talked about magic, it sounds like actually multiple magicians very easily know how to basically pass between realms. Like,
that is a magician thing, as far as he's described it.
Which is super funny, because also, like, Nadia going, not a real magician. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We've also literally never met any other magician, so all we have is Asra. So somehow, magically, Asra just knows magic.
I like
which supposedly
the
is a skill that you can anybody can learn.
I love the assumption that Nadia is correct when she has her bigotry against magicians and the not real magicians. The assumption that she's right. There are not real magicians and there are real magicians, as opposed to her just again being a bigot. Like all the people doing magic that she hires for her ball, I assume they're real magicians, and she just doesn't consider the way they're using their magic to be valid.
Yep.
That is what at any rate, we're going to have to find about passing between worlds
in the next one. I'm really baffled right now. Again, like, really pretty art. Actually, I think this is probably one of the nicer ones, to be honest. And also, it's really simple, but it was really effective. I
think it's really funny that they do have the subtle Lucio portrait behind him. And he is, though, like, smashed up shoulder to shoulder with Lucio. Like, he did get lifted off the ground. Because this is a shoulder pad thingy.
Oh, it is. That is also a really that is a huge fucking portrait. My God.
On the other hand...
Yeah, so his head is up in here. So
I was going to say, also, though, it looks like Lucio's shoulder, like, ratio and stuff
is really small?
Isn't necessarily as big as it should be.
Yes.
So, you could say the portrait is huge, as in it's as tall as a person, and more than that because it's got the horse skull in the background and stuff.
Right.
But it's not much bigger than that. I was thinking, like, 15 feet tall. This is more like a 10-foot tall portrait, or an 8-foot tall portrait.
Yeah, especially, like, with these...
With Lucio being less than 6 feet tall, I would tend to say this is more like an 8.5 foot portrait.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it does mean that Asra's a couple feet off the ground.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of space at the bottom of that portrait.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, well, yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and please continue to also share the video, because liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing actually does a lot for us in regards to the YouTube algorithm.
If you think anybody would like this series, or even a specific video, please feel free to point them in our direction, should you be comfortable to do so.
Yes. Also, please feel free to go check out our Patreon, and our Ko-Fi, and our Twitch. There are links in the description down below. If you want to support us, that would be excellent. We always are looking for new games, or ways to get new games. So sponsoring us, because we can be bought, is an option. So, yeah, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!